This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network. And joining me right now is Bryan Skanderbeg. He is the president and CEO of GFG Resources. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you: GFG on the TSX Venture and GFGSF on the OTCQB. You can actually see Bryan give an investor presentation at the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, a hybrid event this year, which is happening September 8th through the 11th. With that, Bryan, thank you for joining me again. How are you doing?
Great to be with you today, and happy to give you a little intro before Beaver Creek what evolves around this fall.
Very good, and thank you again for joining us. So last time we actually had a conversation, that interview we published on August 19th, 2020. So let's get an update. What are some highlights from the company since last year?
Yeah, look, it's been a busy year of COVID for all of us, but I think at GFG we've managed to get a lot accomplished. And trying to wind the clock back to last year, we were busy up in Timmins, and we remain very committed to our assets in the Timmins area where we've been exploring for the last year. I think one of the bigger catalysts that's changed and really became another leg into the story is we found a big partner down in the US for our project in Wyoming, and we brought in a private co G11. That deal is closed just in the last quarter, and we're taking that asset forward with a new group trying to do in situ mining for gold. So look, we're a story that aggressively exploring in Timmins, good balance sheet, and that's really where core of our work is. And the other side is we remain committed to this asset in the US, Rattlesnake Hills, and our partner G11, where we're trying to do something people don't do these days, in situ mine gold. So I think it's going to be a really exciting year for us going ahead.
Well, I'm going to have to quickly follow up on that because I think we touched on that maybe in our last interview, but why don't people tend to do exploration or drilling with what was that phrase again? In situ?
Yeah, I use the term in situ mining for gold, in situ recovery, and people think about it for gold or for copper or for uranium or for copper, but they don't do it for gold. And then the reality is it's really to do with how they dissolve the gold. We're not going to put cyanide in the groundwater. These things just not going to be permitted. But what this group is looking at is a replacement technology to not use cyanide. And I think this is quite revolutionary, and I think it has a lot of ability to be successfully applied to both Rattlesnake and really a much broader context in the space as well. So, we took a look at G11 as a private co, had some good dialogue with them, and thought they were really onto something. So, look, our goal is to take the Rattlesnake Hills project, do a suite of met testing this fall, move into another phase of the agreement next summer, and by that phase we'll be drilling initial 5-spot well testing, and the goal here is to say, can we mine gold in an in situ setting, which means no blasting, no drilling, no big open pit, no underground mine, a lot less capital, and that's really what we're focused on with our partners at Rattlesnake Hills, and they're funding that R&D and that development and that project, and GFG remains committed to our exploration expenditures in Timmins.
Very good. Well then, Bryan, from what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts for the rest of 2021 going into 2022?
Yeah, really twofold there. So I think the biggest one is really, I won't maybe say the biggest one, but when we look at G11, we're starting the met testing, and that really evolves through this fall into Q3 and into Q4, and those results really dictate how this project's looking and how that development's working. And obviously it's of relevance to GFG because we have a carried interest in the project by G11. So that's a really good strong catalyst here at Q3, Q4, met results coming out of Rattlesnake Hills. Looking back at the Abitibi asset, which is in Timmins, we plan to be back here drilling in Q3 and Q4. And I think what you've seen is the history of drill results has been pretty strong on the project. We'll be back in there drilling. We've got a good balance sheet, and I think just good catalyst coming out from the drill bit, which we'll be starting back here in later in Q3 and carrying through Q4. So those are the two sides to the story.
And with that, Bryan, where can our audience go and find more information on GFG?
Look, GFGresources.com is the best place. Website, lots of information on there. We're pretty old school too. Pick up the phone and call us. Always happy to take an investor phone call. Mark LePage, BizDev manager, IR manager, both of us happy to talk to our shareholders at any time. So call us in the office or look at our website for more information. Thank you.
Very good. And that website is www.gfgresources.com.
Exactly.
Bryan, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. I look forward to our next update.
Thanks very much for the opportunity, Robert.
Thank you. Again, my name is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, a hybrid event this year happening September 8th through the 11th. Bryan will be there giving an investor presentation. Thank you all for watching.